And that's the national anthem, and this is BHS TV Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the coverage of the Mid-Suburban League Conference Championship matchup between your Barrington Broncos and the visiting Prospect Knights. I'm Ben Picorna, the play-by-play voice of Barrington Athletics, joined alongside me by the big man in the booth, Hunter Kingwell. Hunter, what are you looking for tonight from the Broncos to make a statement?
You know, Ben, I want to see a lot of fast offense. Got to run the ball quickly. That's what we do best. We are a fast offense-oriented team, and we got to play well out here. And
I think coming into this game for Barrington, with so rarely having a chance to win the conference title,
yes,
I think this will be a big statement game and a big step up here for the Broncos tonight.
I couldn't agree more with you, Ben.
Could not ask for a better atmosphere for some high school basketball, especially on a Wednesday night. The Prospect students making the trip. The Barrington student section filling up as we speak.
Yes, sir.
They got the drum line out. They got everyone out here tonight for this coverage and for the game.
It's a big game, Ben. It's a big game.
The Prospect player introductions have concluded. Now over to the Barrington Broncos now, who have been on a hot streak as of late. Hunter, coming into this game off of a big win against rivals Fremd, winning that game by double digits at home last weekend.
Great game, Ben.
A very good game, and a big man who stepped up in that game, junior number 3, Mark Johnson, stepping up and making great plays on inside. His second chance points and efforts really set Barrington apart in that game. Fremd also getting into foul trouble, having two players foul out late on in the game. Two of their best three-point shooters, Luke Seidel and Lucas Sliwa. Two of their best players were on the bench at the end of the game. The Broncos took advantage of it. And tonight they're going to be driving and working hard inside the glass as well. Prospect with an outstanding height advantage against the Broncos. The Broncos' tallest player in the starting 5, Jake Parsons, the football wide receiver. He's a 6'4" senior and a captain. The Broncos looking to make a statement here tonight and establish themselves as a true powerhouse in Mid-Suburban League basketball.
And Ben, I love the lineup that Tucker's going with. This is probably, at all 5 positions, their best lineup. You have Mark at, a 3, I would assume. And he's probably, he's sort of like a Ben Simmons, if you'd say. He plays all around. He's an all-around kind of player.
He can shoot, he can drive, he can board. And we've seen him dunk in warm-ups. Not sure if he'll break it out tonight. But we're ready for the tip-off here at Barrington High School. The jump ball won by the Knights. And number 4, David Swerda, will take it up the court to start off the game for Prospect. He'll take it across half court, guarded closely by Span into the corner now. Driving to the elbow, holds it at the bump in the arc. Drives, kicks it to the corner. Johnson up on him right away. Holding now, moving back towards the timeline, a little caught up at half court. Span and Bach coming, jump stop in the lane.
Great block, great defense by Barrington.
Bach looking to take it the other way, but he'll slow down and try to set the pace here for Barrington. Driving, kicking to Johnson, thought about it. He'll go into the lane now, inside. Parsons holds up, fires it off the glass, no good. Tip in, no good. Span trying to hold it in. That one will go to Prospect.
Prospect just flooded the inside of the court there, Ben. They were all over Barrington there.
Barrington not doing a great job of boxing out there. They had Parsons and Span on the inside. Anthony Span will usually lose the height battle, though, there on the inside. In that time, you saw it go off of him in the switch of possessions here, as Ferda will take it across once again for the Knights.
Span does have a height disadvantage, Ben, but he is a great driver. He knows how to finish the ball so well.
And his ability to stop on a dime, pull up and float one in is one of his best facets of his game.
Couldn't agree more.
A little fumble there. He'll drive now, kicks it to the corner. Reinhardt up on him, pops it into the lane. Span gets a hand on it right back, kicks it out. Sverda for 3. No good. Rebounded by the Broncos. Kicked around. Prospect will come up with it again. These offensive second chance points are going to hurt the Broncos if they cannot stop this.
Number 1, Jalen, he is a jumbo. He's just jumping all over the place, Ben.
A 3 from Sverda, no good. Rebounded by Parsons. The Broncos finally regain possession. Will look to take it the other way. Span driving across half court. He'll head into the short corner. Up top to Johnson at the top of the arc. He'll move back towards the timeline and the logo at center court. Reinhardt for 3. Got it! And the Broncos take an early 3-0 lead, 6 minutes to play.
The 3 there, Ben. The big man with the 3. I like it.
3-0 game, 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. The first time we've seen a true reaction out of the Bronco crowd tonight. The bench getting into it over there for the Broncos, trying to create some noise. A big stop and a score here could give the Broncos a 3-possession lead with a 3-pointer. He'll drive lane, kicks it out. Kreidler thought about it, drives into the lane, kicks it back out. Another fake shot from the same location. Sverda with the ball now. McLaughlin set the pick. Kreidler now. Moving into the key. Thought about it, took a little stutter step into the corner. 4-3, got it, and we have a tied ball game.
Great shot.
Span will take it up for the Broncos. 3-3 our score, 5:15 to play in the first quarter in front of Hunter, what is probably the biggest crowd I've ever seen here.
Yeah, easily.
You and I have been religiously coming to games for 3 years, and we've finally seen our boys in a conference championship game. Jump stop in the lane, fires it up.
That was a questionable foul, Ben.
Questionable call, but Prospect will take it the other way and look to take their first lead of the night. McLaughlin kicking it over to Kreidler. Kreidler moving to the bump, up to the top of the arc. Kreidler again now. Loosen Hope look to drive back to Kreidler. Good ball moving around the top of the arc. Had the man inside, finds Sizlewski. And under the
move!
He goes under, puts it up strong. Just the right amount of English on it. And the Prospect Knights take a 5-3 lead, their first of the night with 4 minutes and 25 seconds to play. No stoppages in play so far, non-stop action. Span almost pickpocketed. Reinhardt collects it, and back to Span. The Broncos with an early scare there on this possession.
Right
inside,
pass.
Parsons puts it on the ground.
That's a foul.
That one slips off the hands of Loosen Hop, and that'll go out of bounds for the Broncos ball. They'll get a second chance here. Bach holding in the corner. He'll bring it back out towards the IHSA logo there. The Broncos will start regional play next week.
Yes, sir.
Parsons holding at the bump. Moves it to the top of the arc just inside. Reinhardt now back to the logo. The Broncos looking to set it up, chewing a lot of time off. About a minute-long possession here for Barrington. Reinhardt thought about the three. He'll drive into the key. Goes up strong and lays it in.
Good move.
5-5 the score, 3:30 to play. Into the corner, Kreidler, 4-3. No good, just a bit too strong. Sizlewski went in there for the rebound. That one flew just out of bounds. The
Great
Broncos.
play by Prospect there. I mean, they didn't get what they wanted, but that was still a great play.
A great drive, a very aggressive move. Didn't come up for him there. And the Broncos will be headed the other way. 3:28 to play in the first quarter. 5-5 our score. Oh, a great fake there from Span. Skipped it over to Parsons. Finds Bach alone underneath.
Oh, he had the pass.
Couldn't make the pass. Swatted away. He'll tip it back out, though. Great heads-up play by Bach to find Parsons. Reinhardt. Parsons now over to Johnson in the corner. Inside Reinhardt. And our first foul of the night on Sverda. And the Broncos will inbound it underneath. 3:07 to play. 5-5 our score.
And I just can't believe Prospect's inside defense. I mean, they're just storming the inside.
Putting up a wall.
Yeah.
Span will take it underneath for the Broncos. Line up in the line across the midcourt. Johnson will take it just inside the arc. Spins, drives. Can't find anything into the corner. Jason Bach, the hot hand for three. Got it.
Wow, what a play.
Mark Johnson with a dime of a pass.
Yeah,
and
great
Jason
find by
Bach
Johnson.
winds up, fires, and converts for the Broncos an 8-5 lead with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. Driving, kicking the quarter. Loosen hop 4-3. No good. That one falls short. Span drives, finds Reinhardt. The reversal is good. Prospect had a nice finish underneath for themselves, and Reinhardt responds.
Yeah.
10-5 lead. The Barrington students getting into it as that one is laid up and in by Sverda.
Nice
Back-to-back action.
Nice spin move.
Nearly running out of breath here, Hunter. The action is nonstop. No stoppages of play except for one foul so far this quarter. Can't ask for a better start to a conference championship matchup.
Can't.
Johnson finds Reinhardt. Back down low to Mark in the short corner. Holds it. The Prospect students getting fired up now. Over to Bach. Bach looks to drive in the lane. Takes a little stop move, lays it up, and in 12-7 the score.
Great drive by Bach.
12-7 the score, 1:55 to play. Sverda drives, kicks it to Kreidler. Kreidler now trying to find some space. Little jump stop. Finds Sizlewski. That one bounces it off. Johnson comes down with the rebound. The Broncos will look to go the other way. Bach nearly firing it out of bounds there. He'll catch up. Span for a deep three. No good. Rebounded by McLaughlin. Sverda now taking the other way. Prospect had the numbers.
That was a
Driving,
carry.
finds Lucen Hop for 3. No good. In and out. Toilet bowls around. A push called on the Knights, and the
Great call.
Broncos
Good
will
call.
gain possession. 1:30 to play. The score 12-7 in favor of the Barrington Broncos.
Ben, with the atmosphere and the way this game is being played so far, I can't just not love how this is going. This is a great game.
Great game for both sides. Can't complain. Prospect, man, messed up there.
It happens.
But Prospect's interior defense and their ability to spread when they're running the floor has caused some problems for Barrington on the defensive end, not in the points column, just the momentum that Prospect has been able to gain on their drives, and their interior defense has allowed the Broncos chances underneath the basket to be few and far between. But Bach heating up from 3, which was a key basket so far in this game, which gave the Broncos the start to this run they're on. That one is off of the hands of Justin Alperin, and Prospect will get a second chance here. The Broncos, a bit of a Butterfingers play on that one. 1:14 to play, 12-7 the score. Broncos lead. Taken by Sverda. He'll take his time across the court here. The ref starting to count off. No sense of urgency, just a walk in the park for him. Takes it across, fires to Lucen Hop. Kreidler taking it near the logo. Driving in the bump. Down into the key goes Lucen Hop. Finds Sverda. Pull up. Juper is good. 12-9 our
shot. That was a great looking shot.
A sweet shot, a great release. Getting up over the defense. Rising well. Johnson pickpocketed, and Lucen Hop will look to run. Lays it up and in. Powered through the potential foul there by Alperin. And has made it a 1-point game with 38 seconds to play. 12-11 our score. Johnson facing a little double team press. Gets it across half court to Parsons. Prospect's going to have to hustle back here. Parsons driving. Tried to find Miles Lester. First mention of the game there, but couldn't find him. Sverda with a chance here with 20 seconds left in the quarter to send Prospect into the break with a lead. He'll hold up here, 15 now. Still holding. Prospect setting up. Coach Tucker calling in the final defensive actions of the quarter. Sverda drives, lays it up, and no good. Bounces around, taken, thrown back up. Johnson catches, baseballs it to the other end of the court. That one is no good. At the end of the first quarter of play, under the score, Barrington 12, Prospect 3. If there's one thing that stands out for the Broncos in the first quarter, what's it going to be?
I guess their teamwork and their passing, I guess you could say. I mean, Johnson was double teamed there, and he was able to toss the dime right to Bach for that 3.
Critical 3.
Yes.
And for Prospect, what has been their strongest suit of the game so far?
Their speed. They're fast.
We've seen them intercept a couple of passes and pickpocket Mark Johnson.
Their defense is awesome.
Who's a very good ball handler.
Yeah.
Well, we have a little break here, Hunter. I would like to thank all of our crew members here tonight. We were here setting up at around 5 o'clock today.
Couldn't do it without them.
Couldn't do it without them. Everyone behind the scenes, the people doing the grunt work, wouldn't be able to do our jobs if they weren't setting up for us and doing all the little things. So thanks to them. And thanks to our program director, Dr. Jeff Doles himself. Gives us the ability to produce these excellent live streams
Real
for you
MVP.
at home. And our final thanks to make is to all you viewers at home. We truly do appreciate you coming and listening into us. It shows us that we're doing something right for once, Hunter.
Yeah.
So if you're the Prospect Knights down by 1, riding a bit of momentum after that run at the end of the first quarter, what are you going to look to come out here and do first thing in the second quarter?
Honestly, Ben, this is not the best answer, but do what you did in the first quarter. I mean, they did well. They played so well.
You can't hit them too hard because it is a 1-point game, and they've been coming back and forth all game. I wouldn't give either team a real advantage right now.
No.
If I had to say someone had the momentum, I'd say Prospect after that run at the end there. They picked up 6 points at the end. As the second quarter now is underway, they'll fire it into Span, taking it across half court, a little dribble between his legs, finds Justin Alperin. Lester now in the short corner, Alex Gull's favorite spot on the court. Lester coming to the bump. Bach jumping and screaming on the far side, looking for that pass. Couldn't find him. Now he gets it. Bach for 3 with the hot hand. No good. Tipped up and in by Alperin. That one couldn't get in. Sverda comes down with the rebound. Murray with his first mention of the game into the corner. Lucen Hop drives. Kicks it corner. Sverda now back Murray and then Desverda here taking it to the bump. Pulls up for three. Airballed it. That one is out of bounds. Broncos ball. The ref's discussing here. The Barrington students quick to call out the air ball on that last one. They will give the ball to the Broncos.
It was the right call.
Sverda's been hot all night on his shooting. That one pulling up just a bit short from him. And the Broncos here with a chance to try and curve the momentum back their way.
Let's see what the Broncos can do here, Ben.
Span will take it, putting on their dribbling exhibition for us. Alperin across the midcourt stripe. Down low, swiped away. There's that speed. Loosen hop. Oh, boy. He thought about the dunk.
He played it safe at least.
At the last second. That one is up and in. Prospect takes the lead.
It's careless passes by Barrington. It's really hurting them, Ben. And Prospect knows when it's happening, too. Like, look at this. Yeah, see? All right, again.
That
we
one
got the ball
around.
back, but
Parsons up and in, takes a cheap foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Hunter, you talked about it in that quarter break, the speed for Prospect.
Yeah.
Loosen hop there, flashing in front of the Bronco pass. Going the other way, thought about throwing it down for the one-handed jam. Pulled up and avoided a near disaster there.
Yeah. Don't want the Bronco fans humiliating you if you missed it.
Parsons, a very good free throw shooter. That one
spoke to us soon.
Rolling off the iron. Johnson coming back in. Out comes Lester. McLaughlin for Prospect will come out for the first time. Johansson will go in for the Knights. 12-13 our score. Prospect leading the second free throw for Parsons. Flushes it, and we have a tied game with 6:44 remaining in the second quarter of play. Loosen hop now taking control of the offense here. Driving looks to go by on Alperin. Kreidler up top now. Over to Johansson. Johansson loses the ball. Johnson swipes it away. Finds Alperin, who looks to drive, makes a good Euro step move and lays it up and in. 15-13 our score, 6:20 to play in the second quarter. Alperin with his first bucket at night, and what a time for it to come as he breaks the deadlock. Kreidler to Johansson, the Barrington students getting into it once again. Sverda, the pass tipped, but it found its way to his Murray. And a push foul called on the Broncos. That's their first foul of the night.
It's a good call.
The inbounds pass to Loosen Hop, taking it near half court. Prospect going to look to set it up and try and swing the momentum back their way. Loosen Hop thought about it. Alperin quick to cover. The screen played there on Bach. McLaughlin back in the game. An excellent move, lays it up and in. He almost had Reinhardt flying off the court with that head fake. 15-15 our score, 5:35 to play in the second quarter. Span will drive, lays it up. Almost glass there by McLaughlin. Span went down hard.
It's a great drive, though.
And Loosen Hop takes it the other way. Sverda driving. Johnson straight up and down, making a great play to avoid the foul. Span pulls up, thought about the shot. McLaughlin was there, finds Bach now in the short corner. Takes it back out, turns, fires for three, got it! Wow! Jason Bach.
No, on the Prospect
setting
coach.
Up and firing it in. The
That's
Broncos lead by 3. 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Bach with his third basket of the game and his second three-pointer. 2 for 2 from 3 for Jason Bach. Into the corner now. Loosen Hop thought about 2 for 3, excuse me. Thought about answering there. Sverda now looking to drive. An excellent ball fake move. Loosen Hop again thought about a 3 from way downtown. Decided to pull up, and they'll reset here. Loosen Hop driving. Fires it. An excellent pass down low. Can't get the late. We'll have a jump ball called. Loosen Hop tying up with Alperin. That one will stay with the Knights. Sverda with an excellent chance underneath to try and lay it up and in after a dime of a pass from Loosen Hop. Couldn't get it to fall, but Prospect getting a lucky play to bounce their way, forcing the jump ball. They'll have the ball here inbound to Sverda. Ooh, boy, thought about firing from way downtown.
Deep.
Lucenhop takes it back to the logo. Driving over to Murray now. Sam Murray. Sizlewski for three. Murray here, no good. Rebound by Span. The Broncos with a chance to take a 6-point lead with a 3. Span driving. And a glass by McLaughlin. A 2-on-1 rush here. Murray mishandled the pass. Lucenhop goes up. Jack Reinhardt calls the SWAT team in on him and fires that one out of bounds.
Foul, man. I guess they...
A monstrous block.
Yeah.
The call came earlier that the foul was not called on Reinhardt. It was called on Alperin there for the hand check foul when he was going up. But Reinhardt came in and invited him to the block party on that one.
He did.
4 minutes to play, or excuse me, 3:59. Misses the first free throw. The Barrington students elated
Loving it.
with that miss.
I'm trying to see, Ben. Which crowd do you think is bigger? I mean, it's pretty even, it seems like.
Pretty even. Prospect making a big trip out here.
Yeah.
The Barrington students making this gym one of the loudest environments I've ever heard it at. The second free throw will fall. 2-point game. Lucenhop knocked down the second three for his 8th point of the night. He leads the Knights. Alperin caught up. Finds Reinhardt down low. Lays it up and in.
Great dime.
Timeout taken by the Knights.
Play.
Full timeout taken with 3:45 to play. Hunter, we've seen the Knights have plenty of scoring opportunities here in the second quarter. A couple of missed layups underneath and a couple of errant passes. What do you think they need to do to clean that up? I think if they do clean that up, we could have a tied ball game, or we could have the Knights in the lead here.
You know, Ben, I mean, I'm contradicting myself with early, but I mean, they might have slowed the ball down, get into their offense more. I mean, they're really rushing it, it seems like.
They had the speed advantage earlier.
Yeah.
Broncos caught up with that, and now Prospect almost being too fast. You saw Lucenhop, who's been the catalyst of the offense tonight for the Knights, slowing it down a little, trying to set things up. Because we've seen them toss a couple of beautiful passes underneath. If they can just start converting those easy layup chances, they could be in the lead here tonight.
Easily.
20-16 our score. The Barrington Broncos in the lead, looking to capture the conference title.
Don't forget, you can see the replay of tonight's matchup exclusively on CN100, the Comcast network, Saturday at noon on Comcast Channel.
The public address voice of the Barrington Broncos, Bob Seidel, doing a great job here tonight.
Great offensive coordinator for the freshman football team.
There you go. Hunter, I think easily to say this is the biggest crowd we've ever had for any event here in the gymnasium. Besides from the mandatory homecoming assemblies, I think this is the most people we've had here for any event.
Especially because we get maybe that, not as big, but big crowds like that for Barrington, but we never get a fan section.
And it's
from
really
the rival
great to
team.
see another school like Prospect with a lot of passion for their school.
I love that.
You can't see from where we're sitting right now, but we are totally surrounded by the Prospect parents here. That three is no good. Rebounded by Alperin.
Like I said, Ben, it seems like they're just rushing their offense.
Took a quick three right off the inbounds. Had a chance to set it up. No pressure on them. Decided to force it. Reinhardt thought about the three. Looks
Great
to drive
fake.
McLaughlin.
That's a foul.
Blocked by Murray. They'll call the push foul. It'll go underneath. 3:21 to play. 20-16 the score in favor of the Broncos.
This has been a great game so far, Ben.
Can't
great
complain.
for both teams.
Alperin inbounded underneath here. Finds Reinhardt, who had a chance to pull up for three, decided to tuck it. Almost had a 5-second call on him there. Parsons driving, throws it up and lays it in.
That was an acrobatic play.
Worked through the hard pressure that was on him, and he found its way in there. The Broncos lead 22-16, their largest lead since early in the first quarter. Sverda with the ball now. Screen set on Span. Sverda back to Kreidler. Kreidler over to Sizlewski. 4-3, no good. Rebounded
right off the back of the iron
by Bach. The Broncos here, a chance to make it an 8 or 9 point game for their biggest lead of the night. Parsons will take it just near the Prospect bench. Driving baseline into the corner. Bach contested three. That one blocked and
Great.
McLaughlin came down with it. Sverda, the other end, lays it up and in. 22-18 our score, 2:22 to play.
I love the hustle by Span to go after that ball. I mean, he didn't get it, but that was still great hustle, great heart.
Parsons holding now at the IHSA logo, comes to the top of the arc, a little behind the back move at the bump of the arc now, headed into the key for a second, popped it back out to Anthony Span. Span looking for Bach. That one falls by the wayside, and we got it going the other way.
You know what you're seeing, Ben? I hate to bring up the crowd again, but you're seeing a lot of like wrestling players out here even after like a practice. You'll never see them after a practice coming to the games, but that could be another reason
why. A big event.
Yeah,
historic event for
yeah,
Barrington basketball.
It's awesome.
Coach Tucker, who has worked tirelessly with these players for years, trying to get a breakthrough. This is something that this program needs, and this is something that is, I think, the best thing that has happened to the Barrington Broncos program, really blossoming as a team to reckon with in the Mid-Suburban League.
Yeah.
And if they can establish themselves here with a win tonight, I think we'd see them really be established as a powerhouse in the conference.
When was the last time we were considered like this? What, Rapolis' years?
Rapolis, Mickey O'Donnell back in the day. That three no good. Brad Zumzile, the alt, who leads the Broncos in a lot of facets, as that one is blocked away. But Hop came back down with it. A deep three from Swerda. Fires up a brick. He's got enough of those to make a fort in Fortnite, but Hop here driving into the key, back out now. Sverda. Zizlewski thought about the three, turns in the lane. Box swipes it away.
Is Zumzile the leading scorer in Barrington history?
Brad Zumzile steals, scoring.
Yeah. You know, he stole my brother's starting position at point guard,
Ooh.
actually. Yeah.
There you go. I think Brad Zumzile and Rapolis, easily two of the most recognizable players in Barrington
I mean, there's
history.
that one guy who played with Steph Curry in college at Davidson.
There you go.
But, I mean, I don't even know his name.
Span pulls up at the elbow. Almost took a bit of a walk there. Parsons mishandling the ball, regains it at half court. 1 minute remaining in the second quarter. Parsons goes up strong, no good.
Parsons is really being aggressive, attacking the basket. I love to see it.
The Broncos aggressive there. They'll get a foul called against them. The Knights going the other way. Hunter, have to commend the officials so far on their job tonight.
Great. This is probably
No
the best
questionable,
officiating I've seen.
no uproars from the crowd. Calling it fair both ways. And I think when you have a conference championship game like this, they're going to get you the best of the best.
Yeah, hopefully.
Inbounded. Sverda waits, lets it bounce a little to run out a bit of the clock. He'll take it now. And he crosses the timeline, gets it back to Hop. Driving into the corner. Zizlewski for three. No good. Rebounded, fell right into the hands of Jack Reinhardt. A long stretch pass. Finds Lester, goes up strong. No call there. Parsons pass finds Alperin over to Parsons, back again in the short corner. Coach Wolfram and Tucker nearly out at midcourt yelling at the players. McLaughlin almost with another acrobatic block.
Now that probably would have been goaltending, if anything.
Sverda the Hop. Goes up strong, takes a hard foul. Reinhardt nearly pulling off a great block, but I don't think we can agree that was forearm on forearm contact. Got a good piece of him there. Hop, the leading scorer for the Knights with 8 points, will go to the line once again. The front end of the two free throws bounces off the back iron.
That's another thing prospects been struggling about is the free throws.
Yeah. Hop, that's his second miss of the night. He's just 1 for 3 from the line. The back end of the free throws, that one will fall. 22-19 our score, 15 seconds to play.
Barrington, do you hold it for the last shot?
Hold for the last here, try to go into halftime with some momentum.
Yep.
Span struggling to get across half court, 7 seconds now. Loses the ball. Hop comes up with it. Foul called with 4.4 seconds remaining. Prospect will get the ball underneath, possibly with a chance to draw something up here to close out the half.
Now, Ben, would you say that was a foul? I mean, it didn't seem...
It was incidental contact, but it had an impediment on his ability to make a play.
I agree.
Inbound, Sverda loses it. 2 seconds, 1 second, fires up a three, no good. Hunter, after that first half of play, the score, Barrington 22, Prospect 19. Before we go into the break, give me one thing that the Knights need to do in the second half to try and get back in this game.
I think close out on the threes. Barrington's doing a great job with the three-pointers. I mean, they're getting Bach open. They're looking out for the deep shots. And if they can close out, get a hand up in the face, I mean, that'll disrupt the shooter well.
And I think that Barrington's ability to limit them to only perimeter shots has
Yeah.
been a defining
Yeah,
factor.
definitely.
Prospect going to need to open up some lanes here in the second half. They
Yeah,
want to
they got
try and
big boys.
dominate. Yes, they do. They got guys underneath too with great passing ability. They're just going to need to open that up if they want a chance here in the second half.
Couldn't agree more.
We'll rejoin you for the second half of action in about 10 minutes here. I'm Ben McCorney. He's Hunter King. Will catch us in 10 for the second half of Mid-Suburban League Conference
Yes,
Championship
sir.
action. The score at the break, the Barrington Broncos 22 and the Knights of Prospect 19. We'll be back soon.
See you soon, folks. Truck? Let's make sure, is it pointed?
Rolling in with the all-conference selections, the players, starting
Just get the
with
cord.
Barrington Jr., Jason Bach.
Oh, wow.
Barrington Sr., Jack Reinhardt. Barrington Sr., Anthony Span. Buffalo Grove Sr., Mac Camardo. Buffalo Grove Sr., Jack Vasilani. Conan Sr., Ryan Davis. Conan Sr., Ben Scholes. Elk Grove Sr., Dylan Ingebrigtsen. Friend Jr., Bryce Hopkins. Friend Sr., Ryan Martin. Percy Jr., Matt Hanashewski. Hoffman Estates Sr., Marshall Davis. From Palatine, Sr., Lamont Berry. Palatine NSL East, from Prospect, John Camardella. The first co-coach of the year for the NSL West, from Palatine, Eric Millstone. And co-coach of the year from the NSL West, Barrington, Brian Tucker. And now for the players of the year for the NSL East, from Prospect, David Swindura. And the NSL West Player of the Year, from Conant, Ryan Davis. Please join me with one more round of applause for our NSL Boys Basketball All-Conference Selections, Players of the Year, and Coaches of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize one of our Barrington athletic teams. Walking onto the court is our varsity wrestling team, coached by Dave Lugchick. First of all, we would like to recognize 6 individuals who represented Barrington High School this past weekend at the IHSA Individual Wrestling Tournament held at the University of Illinois. Congratulations to the following 6 wrestlers. Kai Conway, state qualifier. Tucker Priola, state qualifier. Dan Rasmussen, state qualifier. Jake Meyer, 4th place in state at 195 pounds. Jared Shinoster, 3rd place in state at 160 pounds. And Marcus Hartman, an undefeated state champion at 152 pounds. As a team, our varsity wrestlers recently won the IHSA Regional Championship at Dundee Crown High School in the team sectional match held last night at Huntley High School. They have qualified for the IHSA Team State Wrestling Tournament, which will be held in Bloomington, Illinois this weekend. They will be taking on Providence Catholic in the state quarterfinals. Please join me in congratulating
else's. Try. Her now.
And ladies and gentlemen, we rejoin you here for the second half of action from Barrington High School. We start the second half with the Broncos leading by a score of 22-19. Hunter, at the end of the first half there, we saw the Broncos close it out strong, built themselves a nice little cushiony lead here.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Reinhardt will inbound it for the Broncos. Tried to find Span. Lucenhop almost intercepting another pass. Span taken across the half-court stripe. Reinhardt thought about it for three. Bach now holding at the IHSA logo. Over to Reinhardt, down low. Johnson puts it on the floor, goes up strong, swatted out of his hand.
There
Johnson
you
again.
go. Great effort.
Lays
Great
it up
second
and in.
effort.
24-19 the score. The Broncos started off in fine style. Sizlewski in the corner. Kreider thought about three. Back up top. Lucenhop. Johnson nearly getting his hand on that one. Sizlewski to Sverda. 7:25 to play now. Broncos leading 24-19. Lucenhop to Kreider. Now back to Lucenhop. To Kreider again. Thought about it. Knocked down hard there. A near body check on that one. They'll take it down underneath the first foul of the half, and it goes against the Barrington Broncos.
I mean, Ben, you have to commend both teams for their defense. I mean, both teams are playing awesome defense.
Kreider works through an excellent defensive play to lay that one up and in. 3-point lead now for the Broncos.
Great post move.
The clock has not started, Hunter. For the past 10 seconds, that clock was not running. So they're going to maybe try and run some clock off here. No one seemed to take notice of it. But the clock was stuck at 7:13 for that entire series of play as Reinhardt almost made that one.
That was a smart play by Reinhardt, though. I mean, he tipped the ball so McLaughlin could not go after the ball again, and he stopped it, and now it's just Prospect's ball under the hoop. Smart play by Reinhardt.
He'll make the slap. Couldn't find a man. Finally found Sverda there. Sverda up top. Sizlewski along. Trey got it. And we have a tied ball game. 6:45 to play in the third quarter. The Prospect parents.
They like that one, Ben.
They did. They're getting up on their feet. The student section back into it once again.
Spans, why is he moving back? Yep.
Johnson.
Oh, 10 seconds. Wow.
The Broncos, a bit of chaos in the backcourt.
You know, I thought they were going to call a carry.
Johnson stopped up a little, seemed to pop the ball back to himself, but they'll get him with the 10 seconds regardless. 6:30 to play in the third quarter. Tied game. Prospect with a chance to take their first lead since early on in the second quarter. Sizlewski over to Sverda near the timeline. Finds Lucenhop, thought about it. Johnson was right on top of it. Span guarding Sverda closely. McLaughlin sets the pick. Goes down low, fires in the lane.
Great
McLaughlin
play by Span. He read that perfectly.
Driving, lays it up, and not in. Tip in, good from Reinhardt.
Great effort, great second effort.
A great heads-up play to tip it in. The Broncos regain the lead 26-24, 5:55 to play in the third quarter. Lucenhop near the bump. Now to Sverda at the top of the arc. Cisluski thought about another long three. He hit one just moments ago to tie the game. Sverda now trapped in the corner. He'll bring it back up near the timeline in midcourt. Span works through a screen there. Sverda to Kreider in the corner, 4-3. Got it! The Prospect Knights take a 27-26 lead with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Knights now on top. The energy in the gymnasium totally shifting. Span loses control. Cisluski the other way for Prospect. Underneath Kreider. Couldn't find it. Wide open three for Sverda. Got it! Prospect takes a 4-point lead, and Coach Tucker wants a timeout to talk things over. Prospect players running all over the court after that one. Understandably excited. Barrington will take a 20-second time out.
I mean, this probably wouldn't be a 4-point game, Ben, if Span did not lose control of the ball there. I mean, that looked like he had a clear drive to the basket. He just lost control of the ball and
got
turned
away
into a
from him,
turnover.
and Prospect turned it into 3 the other way. They had the numbers, drove hard, pulled all the Bronco defenders, and then nailed a 3 to give them a 4-point lead. Their biggest lead of the night. They previously led twice, both times leading by 1 point. 5:09 to play. Coach Tucker, who we've seen made several good adjustments and timeouts over the course of some of our broadcasts. The Broncos need to come out and fire back here before Prospect really starts to get the ball rolling.
He's very smart with his timeouts. He knows when to take the timeout correctly and how to settle the team down. Tucker, that is.
5:09 to play, 30-26 the score in favor of the visiting Prospect Knights, their biggest lead of the game. Parsons dodges a defender, finds Johnson, drives, goes up strong, a great move on the inside, no good. Gets his own rebound, goes up strong again and lays it up and in.
Great second ever by Mark Johnson. He's got heart, man.
Followed the ball.
Whoa.
Wow. Throwing up a prayer from a little Kareem hook shot there. Span trapped in the backcourt.
Ooh.
McLaughlin nearly swiping that one. The Broncos getting dangerously close to another 10-second call. McLaughlin gifting them a fresh possession and fresh time here.
He looked like a DN there, but he got low and he just went for that ball.
Fired off.
Yeah.
Split the two players. Got right inside. If he was able to swipe that and Prospect could lay it up and in, that would have been a huge basket for the Broncos.
You should look into football. I mean, that was great.
Span now driving into the lane. Goes up strong, lays it up and in. Great tied game once again.
Like Broncos, I said, Ben, smaller guy, but great finisher.
Loose and hop driving, pull up, pops it in.
That's a nice one. That's a nice floater. Nice floater.
Back and forth action here.
Derrick Rose move.
Span driving, Euro stepping up and in.
Anything you can do, I can do better kind of game going on right now.
We're tied once again, 4:05 to play.
I love this kind of basketball. And the atmosphere from both crowds, I love it.
Sverda looks to slow it down here. The back and forth going to take a momentary break. Loose and hop thought about another 3. He's been hot all night. Finds McLaughlin. Thought about the shot. Kreider, again, he'll drive. Goes up, lays it in. 34-32 the score in favor of the Knights. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Both teams are being so aggressive. They're just attacking the basket, hoping they can get something out of it. I love it.
Foul there called on the Knights. Barrington will inbound it just near their bench. 3:36 to play. 34-32 in favor of the Knights. The lead has changed 4 times in the past 2 minutes. Going back and forth. Excellent action here on both sides.
Like I said, it's anything you can do, I can do better kind of game at the moment.
Bach inbounds to Span. Let's see if the Broncos have an answer. Span will drive. Pulls up in the lane. Fires a floater. That one off the back iron. No good. Great play. Tips it up. Bach for 3. No good. Rebounded by McLaughlin.
I liked the shot by Bach because he's a great shooter, but I mean, there was better options probably than just a deep 3. You could have gotten more out of it probably.
Nonetheless, Prospect going to try and take this chance. The Broncos have Will Rader there ready to check in a good 3-point score. Double team near half court. Finds Kreider, goes hard to the hoop, goes up strong, lays it in the end. One opportunity will follow Kreider. Fired up after that one. The Knights have a chance to make it a 5-point game. Prospect set the tone here in the second half and have been the better team in these 5 minutes of play so far. 3:01 remaining in the third quarter. The and one opportunity here from Kreider to give the Knights a 5-point advantage. That one no good off the back iron, but rebounded by Cisluski. Right back to Kreider, up and in, no good, in and out. Alperin rebounded it, thought about chucking it deep to Bach, but his back was turned. Alperin crosses the midcourt stripe, fouled by Lusenhop, upset with the call. Nonetheless, the Broncos will take it out on the far side of your screen, right near midcourt.
Yeah, Ben Kreider, he's been really aggressive this second half. I mean, he's been shooting up all these shots, and he's doing well.
First half, just 2 points come out here. Had 7 points in about the span of 3 minutes there. 2 threes and the free throw.
Yeah.
Inside, Parson goes up strong, lays it up, no good. That one hit off the glass. Prospect with a chance to make it a 6-point or a 7-point game. Again, trying to extend it to their largest lead of the game. 2 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the third quarter, 36-32 in favor of the Knights on this Mid-Suburban League Championship matchup. Kreider to Lusenhop near the timeline. Lusenhop driving back to Kreider now. He'll try to find space in the lane, over to McLaughlin in the corner. Lusenhop for three. No good off the front iron, rebounded by Rader. Has Johnson down court. Johnson takes it. Goes up strong, nearly. Rader with the great follow.
Dunk that, Ben.
Down low, Alperin fires it up and in. 34-36. Prospect leads, 1:52 remaining in the third quarter of play. Johnson went up strong, couldn't get it to fall. Rader following as the trailer with a great rebound and gave the Broncos that second chance opportunity. Inside, Sferda makes the play to McLaughlin. The reverse is good. 38-34. Prospect now taking a timeout with 1:38 to play.
No, but I'm honored to be commentating this. This is one of the best high school basketball games I've seen in a while. Both
Back
teams
and forth
are playing
action,
so
both
well.
at the top of their game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
22nd timeout taken here by the Knights. Coach Tucker, moments before that scoring chance there by Alperin, had just brought on Will Rader, who was the key factor in giving the Broncos that second chance opportunity.
Ben, if you're the Broncos, what do you talk about during this timeout? What do you need to change?
I think they need to be slowing it down. Prospects playing an open-ended game, firing it back and forth. The Broncos have shown when they can set up the offense, get their passing lanes working, they throw beautiful passes and get the easy baskets here. So if the Broncos can settle down, start to slow the momentum here, try and take away Prospect's speed aspect, we could see them fight their way back into the lead.
I can't agree more with you, Ben. I'd also like to see them. I mean, they're really not closing out like I thought they would. I mean, they're leaving them open. I mean, they're getting wide open shots. Prospect is. I mean, Barrington's
and that's where Kreider and Lusenhop have been killing them this half. Kreider with 2 threes, Lusenhop with 1, which has killed the Broncos. Rader taking across half court, a rare sight. Fires it, skip pass across court. Alperin look down low for Johnson. Bach in the corner, thought about it. He'll drive, skips it to Rader. McLaughlin, Bach giving chase. He'll stop up, swiped by Rader. He was standing out of bounds when he made contact. Stays with Prospect, but he came back, followed hard, and took away that easy scoring opportunity. Over and back.
Yeah.
A silly mistake made there by Sferda.
I don't think Sferda knew he was that close to the
I don't think so either. He made a careless pivot step into the backcourt, gifting the Broncos possession after they just lost it seconds ago.
It could have also been the great defense. I mean, Will Rader did great defensive pressure. Right up on top of him,
yeah.
Great defensive pressure.
38-34, the score in favor of the Prospect Knights. 1 minute, 18 seconds remaining to play in this third quarter of the Mid-Suburban League Championship game. A hook pass to Rader. No progress made there. Fires it right back to Span. He'll fire it right back to Rader. A little give and go action.
All right.
Playing hot potato. Johnson thought about the three. Would have been his first attempt of the night. Looking for Rader. Parsons stabbing at that one. Lusenhop, or excuse me, Sferda losing it. Rader fighting for it. Johnson.
Play by Rader.
Span now looks to drive. Fights it off, threw it up and in. The Broncos will take it out underneath. Will Rader has come in and had an instant impact in this game.
Yeah. 2 big defensive plays.
And the rebound, which gave the Broncos their most recent basket by Alperin. Rader flying all over the place, using the speed and versatility there He's a scrappy player, and it showed.
That's what you want.
Span drive, dribbles off his own foot, and Prospect will get the ball here. 45 seconds to play in the third quarter. Prospect leading still 38-34. We've gone a couple of minutes here without a basket from either side. Plenty of chances, just no conversions.
Story of the third quarter for Barrington is just carelessness. I mean, they've been careless with the ball, and that's came up with a lot of turnovers.
Turnovers will kill you, especially in a big game here with two teams that are very evenly matched. Giving them free chances is one thing you don't want to do, as Sferta here will take it. Goes behind the back, block called on Span. Coach Tucker clapping him on and letting him know that that was just a clean play.
Good call, yeah.
Unhappy with the call. 27.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter, 38-34. Still our score as Sferta will take it in the backcourt, pressed by Span. Raiders, Span, Bach, Parsons, and Johnson, the 5 out there for Barrington right now.
You know, Ben, we do talk a lot about Span's driving abilities, but he's also a great defender. One-on-one defender, he's awesome at it.
His speed and his ability to get right up on the defender, make him feel very uncomfortable.
Just like there.
Sferta blocked.
Wow.
I'm surprised there was no technical called there on Raider.
Yeah, actually you're right. Yeah, usually you would get that.
A very, I'll say, boneheaded play by him there. The whistle had blown, play was clearly stopped. Chucked it to the other end of the court, easily a technical.
Well, in his defense, he was chucking it while he was blowing the whistle.
That one made by Sferta. It is a 5-point lead for the Knights, 39-34. 4 seconds left. The Broncos might have one chance to chuck up a prayer at the end of this free throw. Back end is good. The Broncos have a chance to try and get a momentum swing here from a late basket. Span with 2 seconds across midcourt. Bach.
Too
late. That one off the top of the backboard and out of bounds, Hunter. We head to the fourth quarter with the Prospect Knights putting on an absolutely outstanding display on both ends here, and that is why they have gained their largest lead of the night here at 6. We'll take a quick break here during this timeout and rejoin you for the fourth quarter. And we'll catch you back here for the fourth quarter of play. The Knights will be inbounding to start it off. Barrington needs a stop here. They do not want this at an 8 or a 9-point game pending a 2 or a 3. That would truly put them in a deep hole here.
It would.
With 1 quarter to play. Sferta to the IHSA Loga. Kreider holding it. Skip past Johnson, nearly making an acrobatic steal there. Lucenhop will take it. Prospect visibly playing slower, trying to chew as much clock as possible.
Smart when you have the lead. Barrington would be doing the same thing if they had it.
Foul called underneath on Alperin for a push. Prospect will inbound underneath. The Broncos with 4 fouls at the moment, not in terrible trouble.
No.
5 actually with that one. Excuse me, they hadn't put it up on the score sheet yet. But 5 fouls on the Broncos, 2 more, and the Knights are shooting free throws, especially when you're down. That's one thing you don't want to give him.
Exactly.
Kreider trapped there well by Alperin. He'll dribble his way out, look to drive, fires up a beautiful floater off the back iron. Over the back, quite obviously on McLaughlin. The Broncos, Hunter, need a basket on this possession.
They've gone
need a 3.
I mean, I don't know how long it's been, but they've gone a while without a basket.
Yeah. They were up 34-32. Prospect went on a tear there to close out that quarter. Broncos need a basket. Whether it's a 2 or a 3, they need to get some points on the board and get their confidence back up here. Don't force a shot.
No, you don't want to force a shot.
Work like you were in the first half. Get down low and go back to that bread and butter that gave you those leads in the first half.
They're doing a lot of driving kicks in the first half. You know, I mean,
they got to mix it up here.
Yeah. Especially
Johnson
in the fourth.
looking to drive down low. Alperin lays it up and in. That's what we're talking about. That inside passing ability that was working so well in the first half. They got to stick with that here to try and climb their way back. 40-36 the score in favor of Prospect. 6:37 to play. McLaughlin guarded closely by Reinhard. A great switch move there by Murray, driving. Look down low, swiped away by Jason Bach.
There we go.
A huge chance for the Broncos here if they can get a basket.
But be slow with it, Barrington. You got to be slow.
Plenty of time.
Don't force it. Yeah.
4-point game.
4-point game with 6:15 left to go.
A vicious push there underneath by McLaughlin. Johnson hammered down to the court.
Yeah.
We have our headphones on that cancel most noise. I could hear the thud out there on the court. 6:15 about to play here in the final quarter. 40-36 in favor of the Knights. Oh my goodness, Spann not even looking.
Yeah.
Pops it down low. Johnson turns. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line off the back.
It's all they had. It's all they had. I mean,
open shot. Why not take it? Can't blame him for that one.
Yeah.
But you would hope he'd knock it down in that situation. At a 4-point game here, I think if you're the Broncos, you're still in it. But when it gets up to 6, like it is now, that's when it gets a little difficult. That's when you got to start pushing.
Yeah.
5:45 to play. Let's see what Barrington can conjure up here late. Fires it. Reinhardt, no foul called. Very questionable call there.
Tucker is not happy with that one.
.5:25 to play, 42-36. Kreider driving down low. Sverda up and in. 8-point lead, the largest of the
play. Wow.
The Broncos got to start going here. They got to start going. They need to start. And one from Anthony Spann.
Wow.
That is what they needed,
That was
Hunter.
big. He's got to make this free throw, though. Now, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last time Barrington was a conference championship, and it actually was against Prospect, the same thing happened. They were leading most of the game, and then it came to the late in the second half where they just lost.
Prospect ran away with it.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid that here. 5:05 remaining. Free throw no good from Spann. That kills. 6-point game still. That would have brought it
to 5.
To a 5-point game. Spann, who's usually perfect from the line.
Really good at free throw shooter.
Laps in there. Timeout taken. The Broncos sloppy play in that third quarter coming back to hurt them here.
It has.
They've had plenty of chances. They haven't had their. It's not like they haven't had their opportunities.
No.
Just not taking them when they needed to.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank all 50 of the viewers tuning in tonight. A great crowd on a Wednesday night for this stream. .452 to play, Hunter. You're down by 6 and you're the Barrington Broncos. What's the first thing you got to get under control, you got to do when you hop out there on the court after this timeout?
Passing. It's that passing. I mean, it's still going on. I mean, it was mainly the third quarter what's really hurt them, but now, I mean, they're still making some careless plays out here now. They really got to, I think you got to also give credit to the Prospect defense to be reading the calls, the plays really well. But, I mean, if they can just get that careless passing down, I think this could be a very close
Barrington
game.
is not error-free, to say the least.
Yeah,
yes. No. And that's coming from 2 Barrington students.
Yeah. Two of the probably the two biggest fans. Two the
not
biggest
trying to
fans.
brag.
Yeah, not trying.
Sizlewski over to Loosenhop, excuse me. He'll chew up some more clock. 4:30 to play. Over to Sizlewski. Bach lost his man. Sizlewski thought about the 3. Held up a great move there to try and chew some more clock. Bach almost making a play. The Broncos cannot allow them to make this an 8-point game here. 4:10 to play. They've chewed nearly a minute on this possession. A dagger 3 from Loosenhop, no good. Reinhard with a pivotal rebound. Nearly loses it. The Broncos got to push across half court here. 4 minutes to play. We're at the halfway point of this final quarter. 44-38, the score in favor of the Knights. Over to Parsons. Screen set by Reinhard. Parsons drive. Lace it up and in.
Great
44-40 the
4-point game with 3 minutes left. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go, Ben. Let's see what they can do.
Barrington needs to get the crowd back into this one.
Yeah.
Create some noise in this gym.
Speaking of that, Ben, I actually just saw, believe it or not, the dean, Joe Malloy for Barrington, trying to hype up the Barrington teen crowd.
Oh, my goodness. Parsons taken out underneath.
That was questionable.
Bach thought about the 3-point attempt. Spinning, going into the lane. Sent right back at him. A great chance for the Broncos. But Bach absolutely stuffed.
McLaughlin,
the Broncos
he's an
needed
athlete.
that
He jumps out the building.
Pressured. Loosenhop driving, skips McLaughlin. Out of... Ooh. 3:02 to play. The Prospect Knights will take it out near their bench. Sferda taking it back to half court. They've played this slow kind of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart.
It's a great strategic move, but come on, play the game. A long pass nearly flying out of bounds. The Broncos trying to recover after they were in the double team. They've moved to the man-to-man here.
Oh, you
driving unimpeded and the foul.
It's a bad call. I don't know if that was a foul, Ben.
He was standing straight up and down, feet still. I don't know how you
Tucker
make
is
that
not
call.
happy with that call.
Span coming back in. Alperin coming out. You need Span in there, especially down 6 or potentially 7, pending this and 1 opportunity. But the Broncos have to go, and they got to go now.
Yeah, they started.
There's
now
no time
Broncos
to wait.
got to start pushing it.
Sferda up and in. 7-point game. Things starting to look bleak for the Broncos. They got to stop doing that in the backcourt, wasting time.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing that.
They got to go.
And they're not.
Dangerous pass.
Yeah, again.
Span. Pull-up jumper, no good. Johnson will rebound in the corner. Down low, Reinhard backs off a defender. Blocked again. Prospect rebounds. Nearly loses it. Fires Loosenhop. Sizlewski back to Sferda, now to Loosenhop all over the place. 1:55 to play.
Things aren't looking good for Barrington now, Ben.
A basket here for Prospect could be it.
Yeah.
Barrington forced a foul. Disappointing second half performance from the Broncos, to say the least. Had the lead, had the momentum, and have really fallen off here. That one, front end of the 1-and-1, good. Could be a 9-point game for the Broncos. They would be down 9, 1:50 to play. They need a miss here to keep it at an 8-point game.
They need a miss to make it a chance of coming back.
Loosenhop up and in, 9-point game, 1:50 to play. Not looking good for the Broncos. They got to hustle here. Johnson, see if he's going to think of a heat check here.
You guys, you got to do something. You just got to do something.
Span in the corner for 3. Got it.
Okay.
Timeout, Tucker. Span, who
That's
rarely,
a little hopeful. It's a little hopeful.
Span, who rarely checks
threes,
himself
yeah.
from 3.
Yeah.
.135 to play. Broncos down by 6. I think you need to get a steal. If you keep putting the
Yeah.
Knights at the line, they're just
Definitely.
going to keep racking it up on you. A steal here, a quick bucket. Doesn't need to be a 3. Just got to cut that lead.
Cut that lead.
A 2 makes it a 4-point game. A 3 cuts it to 1 possession game for a
Yeah.
3-pointer. The Broncos need to be playing swarm defense here.
Best
all over
defense
them.
they can.
And if you got to foul them, foul the tallest guy out there and give them
If
the
I was
best chance of
Barrington,
misses.
you'll see this. Some NBA coaches do this. When it's a close game, a somewhat close game like this, there's not much time left. He'll put a defensive lineup in there, and then if they can steal the ball, they'll take a timeout and then put in all their offensive players. You'll see that a lot. I mean, that's what I would do at this point, because you really got to swarm it.
Something
you
would also see is Barrington with 2 players on 3, 1 on 4 fouls. You could see them put in someone specifically to foul, then switch them back out. Loosen hop to inbounds. Can't give them an open lane like that. Nearly intercepted. Span comes up with it. Push called on McLaughlin.
Wow.
The Broncos will shoot 1 and 1.
And that was big. That
Swarming.
was big.
Span, who has missed all of his free throws tonight. This is when they need him, Hunter. He's been arguably the best player for the Broncos all year. The heart and soul of the team. They need him right now.
They do.
He can't miss.
No, he definitely
Can't allow himself to miss.
Yeah, no.
7 fouls apiece. McLaughlin comes out. Have they biggest free throws you'll ever see? That one is good. Everyone holding their breath there as that one
Even I did.
bounced around. 5-point game now. The Broncos a chance to cut it to a 2-score game. A Span knocks this one down. That one's no good. Can't even rebound. And this could not be good for the Broncos. Span fouls. They'll send Loosen Hop, their best scorer, to the line. Span chalks up his 3rd. The Broncos now 3 players with 3 fouls, 1 with 4. Parsons comes in, Alperin out. The Broncos need a miss. He can't make these free throws.
No, he can't. .50-44, Ben.
1:26 to play. Broncos need a 3.
Yeah, and they need it fast.
They need it quick. And they lose the ball. Foul. I think that could be it, Hunter.
That's it, Ben.
7-point game. A chance to make it 9 here. 1:15 to play.
It's a shame. You can just see the Barrington crowd. They're just it's like stone.
Dejected.
Yeah.
It's just sad to see the Barrington players who have worked hard for this all year, something that Barrington rarely gets.
Underdog team this year. Underdog team. And you always want to see an underdog team do well.
Airballs that.
I don't know. He could have just. Why did he shoot it like that? He could have just. He didn't need the contact there. He could have just shot it. He didn't need to draw the foul, if anything. He's a great shooter. He should have just shot straight up.
1:09 to play. 51-44. Prospect inbounds.
They had a very small chance of box 3 there to make it a chance to come back, but since he missed it, it's over.
Not looking good.
Yeah, no, it's over.
That's the 10th foul on the Broncos. They'll now guaranteed 2 shots. Crowd starting to file out. I'm trying to think of a good way to put this, Hunter, but this has been a straight-up collapse for the Broncos.
But yeah, I mean,
They lost all their
they played
fundamentals, all their
so
passing,
well
all their
the
inside
first
scoring.
half.
It all went out the door in the second half. That one's in.
Although
8-point game.
you could either say Barrington collapsed or Prospect turned it around, is what you could say. If you ask me, I think Prospect may have turned it around.
I would also say Barrington has just hurt themselves a lot. Johnson steps back,
Wow.
goes up for three, no
Ooh,
good.
if he made that would have been highlights.
Rebounded, they'll foul. I think if they make these next two shots,
No, I mean-
Barrington will stop fouling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I thought you were going to say if they make these next two shots, it's over. It's already over.
Number 3, Johnny Kozlowski at the line tonight.
Sizlewski at the line. That one is good. 9-point game now. And there goes the Barrington students.
Yeah. Although you and I would say till the end, though.
Every game.
Every game.
Back end is good. 10-point game, 55 to play. This one's just
As
about
commentators, Ben, we
wrapped up.
have to be unbiased and root for the both teams, but since we are both, we are both huge Bronco fans, probably the biggest basketball fans. Not to be selfish or to gloat, but we both just hate to see this happen for an underdog team like Barrington,
They came out and played like they were the better team.
especially the first half. They did so well that first half.
At the first half, I said, in my mind, I was thinking, I can't wait for to see the players celebrate on the court
Yeah.
with the fans, and what an opportunity it will be. But you saw them come out, and of course, Prospect stepped up their game. But you saw the Broncos crumble in a couple aspects of the
I
game.
wonder if Barrington got ahead of themselves, you know? They just were with the lead and they just started to play like, oh, we got this already, and they underestimated Prospect, maybe. What I want to know is what happened. I honestly think, sure it's a careless passes, but also Prospect did well on defense. So I guess you have to say it really was Prospect that changed this game around. It wasn't really carelessness of Barrington.
47 seconds to play. 10-point game. Prospect will be inbounding the ball. Coach Tucker getting the boys fired up there, trying to give them a little last glimmer of hope and energy as we head back out here.
Never works.
Inbounds pass McLaughlin.
Are they really going to still foul?
Tried to foul. Down court, Kreider. He'll hold. Sverda now with 35 to play. Prospect sensing that Barrington will not foul. The crowd anticipating the final buzzer and another conference title. 20 to play. Prospect's crowd rising to their feet here. Sverda just dribbling around. 12 to play, the clock winding down on the Mid-Suburban League season. The celebration has began for the Knights. 5 seconds. 3,
Gotta
2,
give it to the Knights.
1, and the Prospect Knights are the 2018 Mid-Suburban League champions as they rush
Good
the
for them.
court.
They deserved it. They played their heart the
They're
whole game.
loving it. The crowd's loving it. And they came out here and made a statement in the second half and showed why they're the rightful champions of the Mid-Suburban League.
We are big Barrington fans, but the way how Prospect played in the second half,
They played like champions.
They played like champions. They deserve this. They really do. Barrington just lost their mojo, I guess you could
Lost
really
their mojo,
say.
and Prospect found a heck of a lot of theirs.
Yeah. Well,
The Broncos, with this loss, will be looking at their next potential game being next Tuesday, the 27th, out at Waukegan in the regional semifinal matchup. They'll be taking on the winner of Zion Benton versus the Grays Lake North Knights.
okay.
Barrington, their highest seed in the regionals ever at the 2 seed.
Wow.
They're participating in the Lake Zurich sectional. Lake Zurich, the host of the sectional, gaining the number 1 seed.
Okay.
As the trophy presentation going on out there on court. Barrington gets their runners-up plaque. Obviously, great to take home some hardware at the end of the season, but the players visibly disappointed, rightfully so. They came out here and played a heck of a game and just fell short at the end. Hunter, we'd like to thank all of our viewers at home tonight tuning into this one.
Thank you, everyone.
We thank you for sticking with us to the end here.
Yes.
We'd like to thank our crew, our cameramen, Jordan Jenke, Riley Trapp, Sam Cook, our crew in the truck, Blake Davis, Chloe Probsting, Ethan Madison, Varen Phillips, all doing a great job tonight.
MVPs.
And the program director, Jeff Doles, as always, guiding us and helping us with these live streams.
The man.
The final score here tonight from the Barrington High School Gymnasium, the Prospect Knights 54, the Barrington Broncos 44. The Prospect Knights are your 2018 Mid-Suburban League champions. I'd like to thank you all once more for joining in on the broadcast. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. For the Prospect fans, we know you enjoyed the outcome.
Yeah.
He's Hunter Kingwell. I'm Ben Picorni, the play-by-play voice of Barrington Athletics. Have a great night, everyone, and thank you for tuning in.
Have a good night, everyone.